And welcome back to another episode of Universe Mode with your boy Yeet, Freakin' Rollins. And as we move on to the next week of NXT, Cole lets us know we have a show that won't disappoint. Johnny One will be teaming up with Ricky Saints against Logan Paul and Ethan Page. Blake Monroe explains her DQ loss against Lola Vice. Chase U will also be in action tonight. Everything on NXT. And as we kick off the show, we start with our NXT Women's Champ, Blake Monroe, who got herself disqualified last week in a title match against Lola Vice, and she's going to talk to us about that. And she basically says, because I was doing these a little too fast, she basically says last week was a message to anybody. It wasn't personal to Lola. She likes Lola, but she likes her titles more. So post your posts, tweet your tweets, boo your boos. But they say diamonds are a girl's best friend, but ever since she's touched gold, nothing else has mattered, and no one's going to take the gold from her. Lola says, what are you talking about? You lost by DQ because you knew I was going to beat you. Everyone knows it. And, as she makes her way into the ring, she says, or you can prove me wrong right now, and your NXT Women's Champ is not going to take too kindly to that, as she just blasts Lola in the head with that microphone. Lola gets her off, but, as soon as they get back to the feet, Blake Monroe back on the attack, sending Lola straight out of the ring. And you knew she was going for that chair again. One big chair shot. Another big chair shot. That's 3 big chair shots now. 4 big chair shots. 5 big chair shots. Yeah, we're going to need some help. 6 big chair shots from your NXT Women's Champ to Lola Vice. Blake Monroe looks very, very aggressive. I'm liking this side. But as we move forward into the night, the next thing was Chase U versus LWO, where we saw Chase U getting the dub. But then we also saw your NXT Tag Champions, the Dark State, coming out and, just asserting their dominance, letting them know, like, y'all got that win, but we just beat y'all last week, and nothing's going to change. And as we move forward into the night, our next match will be none other than Maxine Dupree heading out for her second match, coming off that big one last week against JC Jane. I told y'all I'm not going to keep doing Maxine dirty. It was an accident, I promise. But as Maxine looks, she waits her opponent, who we now know is Miss Nikita Lyons. Miss Nikita Lyons, fresh off her comeback, trying to show she still has what it takes, to compete with the best of the best. She's looking to give Maxine a good one. As we were looking to get this match started, Maxine got that dub on JC Jane last week because Maxine has turned into some kind of demon. Maxine, she's been working really hard, and it shows in the ring here as you see Maxine pulling out all the stops. I'm going to give you just a little quick highlights of these matches real quick. Maxine comes out, big splash, big DDT as she gets the dub over Nikita Lyons. And Maxine, since she's come down to NXT in just 2 weeks, she has 2 big wins. Maybe not, well, definitely the JC Jane win, big win. This Nikita Lyons win might not be the biggest win, but it's a dub is a dub. And she's 2-0 right now on a hot streak. And next, we have Saquon Sugars in an open challenge match. Like I said, Saquon Sugars last week off that big win against Joe Hendry, just out here to prove he still has what it takes to lead Dark State, even though he could not get the job done against Johnny Uno at Halloween Havoc. You saw last week Cutler James was looking like more of the leader after that match they had. Not last week, I think that was 2 weeks ago, after the big men had that match against Chase U, where they were victorious. But as we move forward, we now know Saquon Sugar's opponent will be none other than El Grande Americano, the man who some say is the greatest luchador to ever walk the planet, to walk God's green earth. That ain't just me saying it. Some other people say that, whatever. He up there. but whatever. You feel me? So El Grande Americano taking on Saquon Sugars tonight in this open challenge, and El Grande, I believe this is his NXT debut. Definitely his debut in the series and his NXT debut in my universe. So let's see what we got here. El Grande and Sugars, and El Grande out the boat hot. You know, El Grande got a bunch of holds and submissions, and he high flies, bunch of different stuff. Really like the El Grande character, because you could do so much with him. You know, Grande just, you know, showing off his stuff, showing what he can do out here, really just taking it to Sugars. You feel me? And then, of course, you knew they were going to get involved. The big man, Lennox was Lennox was ejected, and then El Grande took it to the rest of them and then got the win over Sugars. Big win from El Grande Americano. That's a big win for El Grande. And if he's going to be around on NXT for the foreseeable future, that win could just put him in that North American title picture after he just beat Sugars, because Sugars just got a big win over Joe Hendry. So, you know, my power scale is going to be a little different. But the next match, Jasper Troy taking on Miles Bourne after that double countout against Briggs last week. Jasper Troy looking to, I guess, make up for that. But then, Briggs from behind attacking Jasper Troy just like Jasper Troy attacked Briggs just a week ago. And Karma is, y'all know where she is. Y'all know where she is. And Troy kind of just getting a taste of his own medicine. Briggs couldn't wait. You can tell Briggs just could not wait. But Miles Bourne, speaking of not being able to wait, not going to waste no time. Bourne on the attack, taking the hand from Briggs. But Troy able to get back into the match as he sends Miles Bourne outside, and he goes for that announce table. Troy's been loving that announce table the past week or two. And Jasper Troy just has been building himself as the monster of NXT. As we pay attention to that count, you know, you gotta pay attention to that count when it comes to this guy Jasper, him and his matches. We're on a count of 8, and I think he's gonna. No way. Jasper Troy taking the count-out victory over Miles Bourne, and Cole and Corey just talking about this monstrous win he just had over Miles Bourne. And, you know, now they're building the tag match, the main event. Johnny One and Ricky Saints taking on the Maverick, Logan Paul, All Ego, Ethan Page. Next now, main event on NXT. And Saxton, you know, if you got a chance to read it, Saxton could not get a word in. Ever. Well, sometimes, I don't know. But as we see All Ego, Ethan Page making his way down to the ring for this tag match, as Ethan was the mastermind, I guess, behind the attack of Logan Paul to Ricky Saints. And Ethan's had his own problems with Ricky Saints, as Ethan was in that triple threat match at Halloween Havoc as well. And Ethan also took a loss to Saints not too long ago before Halloween Havoc. But here's his partner, the Maverick, the man who says he's the needle mover he's must see, Logan Paul. And as these two men are in the ring rating their opponents, and here they come now, not wasting any time, getting straight into it. And this is what I like. This is what I like right here. Smash mouth wrestling. Get straight to it. Don't waste no time. Ref, just ring the bell, or don't, whatever. Just let them fight. This is what I'm here for. But as we finally get some order, we see Ethan Page will be starting this match off against Johnny One, your NXT champion. And as the ref rings that bell, Johnny One wasting no time. Big running knee straight into the chest of Ethan Page, and Johnny Uno not wasting any time. Striking at Ethan. Now with that vintage Johnny Uno Pele kick, as Logan Paul just watches on, trash talking from the corner. As Uno sends Ethan into his corner, Ricky Saints getting some tag action as we see these two working together. Not something I thought we would see, as the ref won just a 1 count. Ricky Saints now on the attack. and just this is just insane. Logan Paul actually here making his debut match in NXT. Actually, this is his debut, and speaking of, here it is. It's officially starting now with him in the ring, getting a little bit of this action with Ricky Saints here. Logan Paul making his debut, finally making his debut in NXT as he gloats in front of and taunts the NXT champion Johnny One on his apron. Logan Paul got here a week ago. Well, I guess technically 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever he said to Ava. Got here, Ava called him out to introduce him to the NXT universe, and he basically just turned it into a whole thing about why he wasn't in the main event match that night, and why he doesn't get the opportunities he should just be handed because he's Logan Paul and blah 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 blah. That's his prime stuff over there and all that. We'll do it. We get it. And Ava just let him know, like, bro, it don't work like that. Like, no matter how you look at it, no matter which way you shake it, I don't care who you are, it don't work like that. You don't get to jump in front. You don't get to jump in front of people who've been here and been working hard and been earning their shots and et cetera, et cetera. And those people she was mentioning is this man here, as he's going old school, Ricky Saints, who won that triple threat match at Halloween Havoc to be in that main event spot on that NXT fighting Johnny One for that NXT championship. So it's just I guess different strokes for different folks. If that's how Logan feels, then cool, but that's definitely not how the WWE Universe or our general manager on NXT Ava feels. So now Logan's here, and he got with Ethan. He's here because he got with Ethan. If you miss it, I'm just give you some quick lore. Logan stormed out, after Ava told him, you don't run this, you don't get to do what you want, you don't make the matches I do. He storms out after that, and Ethan is leaving. And Ethan's outside as we see Logan leaving, and Ethan's like, look, I can help you. You want that NXT title, I can help. But you gotta help me. And Logan knew that. He's like, what do you want? Like, because I know it's not gonna be free. So what do you want? And Ethan basically said, look, man, just get me out of here. I just want to be on the main roster. I don't care how we got to go about it. I don't care how we got to do it. Just make it happen. And Ethan, so smart and so calculated, he knew he wasn't going to let Logan Paul BS him. As Johnny Uno cheap shot to Logan Paul, and more than a cheap shot goes for that DDT. Johnny Uno couldn't wait to get his pound of flesh from Logan Paul, and I'm sure that's not going to be it. I'm sure that's 100% not going to be the end of it. But, Johnny just defended his title, and oh no, I'm sorry, Ethan, so calculated and so smart. That's what I was saying about how he knew Logan Paul could grant his request, no matter what Logan said, no matter what he tried to make Ethan think or what. He knows Logan's kind because they're one and the same, conniving, scheming, planning. Ethan with that twist of fate, and Johnny Uno not even allowing the 1 count. Smart by the champ there, saving Ricky Saints. Ethan let him know, like, bro, I know you can do it. So if you want this NXT title opportunity, you want that match, you want Uno, like, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do for me, and I'll help you do what you need to do for you. And Logan agreed. And Ethan pretty much told him, like, look, you just have to do everything I tell you to do, exactly how I tell you to do it. And I guess it all comes to fruition, and we see that Ethan told Logan Paul to attack Ricky Saints after the match with Johnny Uno, or maybe just attack the loser of the match, because if Ricky Saints would have beaten Johnny Uno as he does that Canadian destroyer, he gets him back to his feet, sends Logan Paul back into the corner, tags Johnny One back in the match. And I don't even think they're trying to win this match. It looks like they're just trying to inflict as much damage on Logan Paul as possible. It really just seems like they're having fun as Johnny One is in there just talking trash. And now letting Ethan know about it. And Johnny One, is he going to let him tag? Ethan started calling for that tag after Johnny One told him to suck it. Seems like he's gonna let him tag. Tell him to suck it again. Oh no, Logan didn't even want to tag. Oh maybe. Oh, Ethan gets a cheap shot in. Oh my god. What was that? I'm sorry. I know I was talking and telling the Lord, but what was that? All right, whatever. So Logan attacks Ricky Saints after the title match. I guess Ethan told him just attack whoever loses the match. You know, as Ethan gets the long 2 count on Johnny One. Not gonna lie, that was almost like bad. But he attacks Ricky Saints after he loses in the main event match to Johnny One. Johnny One with the sling blade tags back in Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints gets back in on the action, and after he attacks Ricky, as Johnny One is actually leaving the ring, Johnny One gets back in the ring and saves Ricky from Logan. You know, starts kicking Logan's ass, throws him out of the ring, and then leads off to a standoff between Johnny and Ricky. And now we're here in this tag match where, depending on how this goes, that NXT Championship match could be a possibility not only for Logan Paul, but for Ethan Page, as we see him hit Ego's Edge. And Johnny One with the reversal, as he knew Ethan was going to go for it, and gets him the second time around. Ethan Page tagging in Logan Paul. You know, this could be a title opportunity for either of these men. We all know how, you know, tag team matches work in WWE, especially when they involve a singles champion. You know, we know how this works. You know, so sorry to break that fourth wall or whatever, but we know how this works. As Logan goes for those 3 amigos, it seems like, and that's 2 has dos. 3 amigos into the kip up from Logan Paul, and Logan's feeling it, and Ricky doesn't know where he is. Ricky looks out of it, and Johnny's looking to get a tag, but Johnny One turns his attention to Logan Paul, who is trying to get him, and Ricky Saints is finally back to his feet looking to make that tag, and there's no Johnny One in the corner. Johnny One completely out of the corner. Johnny One gets back into the ring, and Ricky distracted by Johnny talking like, where were you? And Johnny's trying to tell him like, tag me down. Logan not allowing it. Ricky Saints though, however, back into the match. Big drop kick by Saints as he tags in Johnny One finally. This match has been a lot going on. Logan makes it back to his feet and is sending the right hands at Johnny One. Johnny One finally gets a reversal, tags Ricky Saints back in. I don't think he meant to do that, but all right, going back. And Ricky trying to do his finisher. I see it's not happening. The finisher not happening. I see it. Ricky Saints with the Logan Paul gets the advantage. I see, because the game doesn't want to work. I see it, yo. This is hilarious. Logan Paul takes Johnny out, talking trash to Johnny Uno, the NXT champ, and Logan Paul looking to ended that big slingshot lariat and a drop kick to Johnny One. Logan Paul 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Logan Paul has pinned Ricky Saints. Logan Paul, Ethan Page have beaten Johnny One and Ricky Saints, and now just humiliating the 2 men after that match. And we're running out of time here. Ricky Saints and Johnny One have been beaten by Logan Paul and Ethan Page. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you did. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.